So on to the Big Blue. We're going to talk about what we think they should do, even with the remaining time. We still got about a month away from the NFL draft, so there's still plenty of time for free agents to be signed. So we'll be saying what moves we feel like they should make, if they will, if not, on to the NFL draft. So with that being said, Trey, sounded like you had a lot to tell the fans about the Giants. Giants fans, prepare yourself because this is going to be disaster.
The New York Giants are on the clock. All right, so let's just look at where you were before we can look at where you're going. Right, that's sometimes what we got to do. Take a perspective. So the Giants went 6-10 last year. All right, defensively, they were actually in the top 10. I have them finishing 9th in overall defense. Kind of crazy, considering you had an offense that finished 31st. So a lot of that, I guess you could say, Saquon not being there kind of hurt some things. Me personally, as I said earlier, I am not the biggest DJ, I guess that's what y'all call him, or Daniel Jones fan. Yeah, we're gonna use his government because you ain't ball enough for me to call you DJ. So Daniel Jones. I mean,
Danny Dimes.
Definitely not that.
More like Nichols.
Danny Fumbles. More like Danny Fumbles. Like, okay, he had to remember he was Spencer's screen cap at one point when he remember the run, that boy, he had them wheels and then he couldn't finish it. He just fell. So
that's Spence about to pull it up.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah. That's a guy I know. I don't know who this Danny Dimes you speak of is. All right, but let's look at. So obviously, you would say if you rank 31st in offense, you should go offense in the draft, right? Well, maybe not, because we just talked about them getting Kenny G to that big deal, but they also did sign John Ross to a deal earlier in free agency that we did not. I don't know if we did hit on that. So
I don't think we did.
So now John Ross, we're hoping he can, like Spence said about another receiver earlier, we're speaking, maybe a change of scenery would be what's best for him. But even at the very least, if he could just be a decoy in the offense, have John Ross take the top off the defense, because regardless, you're going to have to respect his speed because he got burners. You're going to have to respect that. So that could open up things for, one, the run game with Saquon. Two, you got Kenny Galladay now. You got Evan Ingram who can fly. You still got Shepard.
You still got Slayton.
Oh, and yeah, Slayton. So, I mean, it's a decent, I think that's a decent offensive core. Yeah. Daniel Jones, not Danny Dimes, Saquon Barkley, Kenny Galladay, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, John Ross, and Evan Ingram. On paper, it sounds good. And if Spence is a believer in Jason Garrett, then we'll see. We'll just see. So with that being said, I'm going the opposite side of the ball. I want to bulk up the defense more. That was what your strong point was. I feel like with the moves you made in free agency already, you're helping the offense. Hopefully should improve it. Hopefully should get better. Just Kenny Galladay at the very least gives Daniel Jones a safety blanket, somebody you can depend on, a reliable receiver, which should make the other receivers' jobs that much easier. Evan Ingram, he frustrates me at time watching him because he has all the tools to be a great tight end. Like when he came out, like you thought he was gonna be something crazy.
Yeah.
And you've seen flashes of it, but he's definitely not consistent. I think he reminds me kind of like Eric Ebron because of all the hype they had coming out
Yeah.
of their respective drafts.
Both have drop issues.
Yeah, they boys just can't catch nothing. but Ingram, he got wheels, so like when he catches it, when he do catch it, he's gone. But the issue is you got to catch it first.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think the moves they did on the in free agency, that kind of helps out the offense more. And Jason Garrett should be able to set some things up. Just with the speed alone, you should be able to do some things here. So for me, I'm gonna go. Actually, I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna give you an offensive option, and Vick is gonna love this one because he's been talking about him for so long. Why not fix the tight end position? Why not take Mr. Pitts out of Florida? That would fix that, right? That fixes that whole Evan Ingram thing. And you have Evan Ingram as a number 2 option at tight end. That's an option you could go to. That's intriguing to me in building this offense to help them not be 31st again this year. Kenny Galladay, Saquon Barkley. What's that?
So basically 2 tight end sets.
They could. They can kind of flex them out.
Yeah, flex them in and out. But if Kyle Pitts is the guy that I think he's going to be, and obviously Vic has been trying to put on every team that we've done so far, if the guy that Vic thinks he's going to be, Kyle Pitts is going to end up being the starter anyways. So
I'm going to say Vic.
It'd be Kyle Pitts, Kenny Galladay, Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones. Who would be considered their number, I guess, 2 receiver out of those? Slayton and Shepard.
Shepard.
And then you could put Slayton in the slot or Ross in the slot.
I'll put Ross in the slot because of speed.
Yeah. Either way, that's if he can get on the field.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I'm going to the U with Gregory. I can't pronounce his last name, but y'all know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The defensive end. I think that you just go ahead and add him. You guys just went ahead and paid Leonard. Just go ahead and beef up that D line some more. Just go ahead and, like I said, I know which surprised me that they finished that good in defense, but I just want to go ahead and beef up that side of the ball even more so. Mm-hmm. And the elephant in the room right now is that Adoree Jackson he's set to have a meeting with the Giants as well as the Eagles, but he has to meet with the Giants first. So if I'm the Giants, I'm making sure that he doesn't even get on a plane to go to Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. Y'all go ahead and once he's in that building, he's supposed to be putting pen to ink.
Yep.
Pen goes to ink. He don't leave New York without a deal. Mm-hmm. That's y'all job. So if y'all go ahead and add Adoree, and then you go ahead and get that boy from the U, I think that might make that defense that much better, considering apparently they was a top 10 defense, which kind of, I guess, went under the radar. Being they went 6-10, nobody would have really, I guess, outside of Giants fans, known that, because I definitely didn't know that. But then again, when we played them, they played us kind of tough. Pittsburgh played them last year, game 1 of the season. They played the Bucks. They played the Bucks tough. I mean, they did play some teams close. So maybe I did see it and just didn't think about it in the whole grand scheme of things of what they were really doing on defense.
Right, 7-9. Right.
I think that's just largely because of all the turnover issues that Daniel Jones has. And that's what's kind of
probably
overshadowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
defense get a
it
stop. He
puts him in a
turned it
bad
over.
position.
Your quarterback turned it right back over. Right.
So okay, yeah. So as far as everything goes,
Vic, before you go, Trey record
Hmm?
or the record, future record.
oh yeah.
Other,
Oh,
Well,
actually, we can talk about that. at the
we do that at the end. I'll let y'all
and
know
we
we
can
okay,
all
get
hit
our
it.
takes.
okay.
So I agree with the most part of what Trey was talking about. Obviously, there's a lot of names that have been off the board.
Kyle Pitt.
I haven't heard. Well, I'm talking about free agency right now. In terms of Juju, Kenny Galladay, cornerbacks like William Jackson, safety Anthony Harris, former Minnesota Viking, now Philadelphia Eagle, Pat P. Just to name a few players that I could have potentially been players that they could have looked at. Hassan Reddick. I believe Melvin Ingram is a free agent. I don't know if they've looked at him or if they're planning on
He
bringing him
actually
in.
has a meeting with the Kansas City Chiefs, Vic, just to let you know that.
Oh, okay. He
I
shouldn't leave that building.
I know you're happy to hear that.
Yeah, he shouldn't leave that building. But if he does, then I would hop on that ASAP Giants and see about bringing him in. Definitely, seeing about, Xavier Rhodes. Clowney, you can forget about it.
It's a name.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, you get him on like a veteran minimum, like $1 million contract or $5 million, okay.
He had a good year last year.
Who?
Xavier Woods?
No, he's talking about
Clowney.
Clowney.
We're talking about Clowney.
Oh, Clowney. Okay.
I would say Clowney didn't even have one sack all year.
Clowney, yeah. I thought you said Xavier Rhodes. I'm like, hold on, he had a good year.
Hey, but real quick, what happened to that offensive lineman that y'all had, the Villanueva? Has he signed with anybody?
No, he has not signed.
I mean, that would be a good. I mean, offensive line. That's obviously been an issue with the Giants. So, I mean, if they can get him, that'd be a solid. I know he's a veteran. He's up there in age, long in the tooth, but that'd be a good signing to potentially have. Xavier Rhodes, I could see him as somebody that would go to the Giants. There's not much out there. I mean, there are some pieces, especially some good veterans that can help out. Again, as Trey said, defense didn't look. I mean, if you think about the Giants defense, you wouldn't think they're a top 10 defense, but based on their stats, they are. And like I said before, the offense was the main culprit to why the defense probably is overshadowed to where, Daniel Jones has the ball, he turns it over and then puts the defense in a bad position to where they're probably already in the red zone. The opponent team is getting ready to score type of deal. So, obviously the scoreboard, the record doesn't show for how good defensively they are. Like Trey said earlier, I definitely seen them earlier when they played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they were definitely a solid crew. They did lose, I think his name is Dalvin Tomlinson.
The defensive tackle. Yeah.
So I don't know in terms of like their interior. I know they signed that boy Leonard Williams to a contract extension. So that's always nice. I just don't know about the depth behind Dalvin Tomlinson and the rest of the crew. So we'll have to see in terms of that. But as far as things go, again, 31st in offense. I feel like free agency, y'all should see what available offensive linemen are out there especially if there's any road graders to help out with Saquon and Daniel Jones. I don't believe that they'll draft a quarterback, but I'm sure some Giants fans, or if not most Giants fans, will probably be up for that. But based on how the mocks have been going, it looks like quarterbacks are going to be like the hot thing. So they're going to be going off the board pretty quickly unless they decide to trade up. But I'm not doing a trade on this. I feel there are a few options. I don't think they are at this point. Like, I'm sure they like Sterling Shepard, but I don't think that they believe in him to that extent. Steve Slayton, I believe that's his first name. He was definitely a solid receiver. Obviously, them getting Kenny Galladay is a great move. I did see some mocks saying that, hey, they're interested in, they had Kyle Pitts selected to them. To me, I feel like Kyle Pitts and Evan Ingram are both the same type of receivers. Evan Ingram is faster, but they're both receivers slash H position. So like basically they'll play in the slot. You can move them out wide. You can put them on the line of scrimmage, but they're not really inline blockers like a Gronk or Kittle type of tight end. So I can see, if anything, I would probably lean more towards, if I was going tight end, I would lean towards Brevin Jordan more so than Kyle Pitts. He has some work to do in terms of the run game, but if I was the Giants, I'd probably go defense. But if there is an offensive player that they could select, this would be it. Since Trey did it, I'm gonna do it too. I got an offensive player and I got a defensive player. The offensive player would be from Alabama, Jalen Waddle. I feel like he will only fall. Add another receiver, but I feel like you can have
it's like 5 right there.
You can have obviously Kenny Galladay and Jalen Waddle both play. Actually, you can have Waddle play the inside and the outside, so you can kind of interchange them. But mainly, what I really think the Giants will select would be defensive, a pass rusher, which I agree with Trey Gregory Rousseau, or however you say his last name.
Yeah,
that boy. If not, go with Michigan's outside linebacker, pass rusher, Kwity Paye, if that's how you pronounce that name. So those would be the two things that I would look at. Definitely pass rusher. If they hadn't addressed the secondary, there's cornerbacks like Asante Samuel Jr., what's it called? Caleb Fairley, Patrick Surtain, JC Horn. I mean, you have some options, so it just all depends on what exactly y'all looking at, and what y'all have addressed up until the draft. So mainly defensive end, if not cornerback, would be something that I would definitely look into. Spence?
One, we gotta what's going on with the play caller, because we can't have this again next year, because this ain't gonna win you games. Now, other than 6-10, or for me 7-9, if you didn't give them the BS call. Yeah, most of the points you guys made a lot of sense. I just really hope that we can get a full year of Saquon. I think fans are starting to get on the, okay, he's getting injured way too much. and I feel like they're going to move off of him. Not yet, but if he continues to be injured after injured, they're gonna have to soon move off him, because they feel like it's injury prone. So definitely I feel like line should be kind of a focus. But defensively, I mean, I agree. If anything, to why not? I had a top 10 defense. Why not try to improve it even better? Why not? So yeah, definitely the guy from the U, of course. He's definitely it. There's another one. I just can't remember. Not the one from Michigan, but the other one. I just forgot. Him. Any of the cornerbacks, Surtain and all those. Those are big. It's just that offensively, I believe that it will improve from 31st. May not be a dramatic, but it will be better from 31st with all these additional pieces coming in. But man, it's just that I guess opportunity is the biggest key. Is the opportunity and just use it because there was a lot of drop passes from Ingram, just a lot of missed throws from Daniel Jones. It's just that we just couldn't really utilize what they had. So basically, it's just utilize. Like, man, y'all should be good right now. It's just that they're just not utilizing what they have. But hopefully, with this, it'll actually be better. Yeah. It's the
So,
NFC
yeah.
least, anyways. So it should be
Yeah,
fine.
I just looked it up for clarity. Yeah, their O line ranked 31st.
Yeah, so definitely a line thing.
So they definitely need to improve there.
Yeah. If not,
Well,
we're gonna see.
obviously they took a tackle in the draft last year, so
Right.
they're trying.
Right. So they might try to, improve the line free agency next or anything because we might get this again.
Yeah, he struggled as a rookie too, though, because he gave up, they say, 10 sacks allowed by him alone. But I mean, it is a tough task when you ask a rookie to go out there. Everybody can't be that boy from Tampa, So, but yeah. So hopefully,
Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah, they honestly might have to go take another offensive lineman at one. Honestly, that might be the smart.
Yeah.
Move. Yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah, that honestly might be the best route.
Yeah.
I just don't know the offensive lineman like that. Besides the Peniel Sewell, whatever his last name, however you pronounce his last name. So yeah, offensive line, depending on who's available, but I'll go best available. If not, go second round in offensive line.
Yeah, because that's.
But
they
definitely need a pass rusher because I can't even think of who's their pass rusher on defense. So.
But yeah.
How much time do we have?
No, we're still good in regards to that, though. So,
okay. Then we can talk about predictions for the Giants.
Well, yeah, as far as that, I actually have their schedule here.
Yeah.
So, obviously, they're in the NFC least.
NFC least.
The Eagles twice. They play the football team twice. They play the Cowboys twice. Outside of those games, now this is going to be at home. You got the Las Vegas Raiders at home. You have the Denver Broncos at home. You have the LA Chargers at home. You have the Carolina Panthers at home, and you have the Falcons at home. Now, away, you have the Chiefs, the Bears. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I said the Chargers at home. That's actually the LA Rams at home. The Chargers are away, but either way, they play both LA teams. Yeah, that's how similar their new logos are. I'm so sorry, guys. And then the Saints are away and the Bucks away. So, me hearing that and looking at their schedule.
They're about to have a top 5. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Y'all finna have a top 5. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it.
So what do you got them going? Because I'm trying to find wins. I'm still over here
I got 4, maybe. I got 4 maybes.
I got 5.
I got 4 maybe.
I got 5 wins.
So
and one of them's a huge maybe. You know what? I'll agree with Vick. I'll give 5. One of those East games is gonna be an upset. So I'll do 5.
I got the Cowboys sweeping them for me.
I got a split on that one.
That one actually have a split.
I got them splitting with Washington and Philly, but I got the Cowboys. I got the Cowboys sweeping them.
I got them sweeping the Eagles.
I got the football team sweeping. I think they sweep the
football
Eagles.
Team sweeping them.
And then I got tied with Cowboys.
A tie. Okay.
Yeah, 1-1. Get 1.
Splitting it. Okay.
Yeah, between the Cowboys and So they're gonna get one, at least one. But
All
yeah,
right.
I'll do 5.
So 5, 5.
I'm saying 5 and 11. 5 and 11.
5.
Right.
Well, you got to think
Yep.
about it. There's an extra game, so 5 and 12.
5 and 12.
Oh, so yeah, that's not even accounting into who they would play though, because this is only so I don't know who they would play with that extra game, but they probably would lose them anyway. So yeah, 5 and 12.
Because that would be the end of the season, and if they know they ain't playing contention, let the backups go. Get some reps.
I don't know. I might go 4. I don't see 5 wins.
I got Atlanta as one of them. Just because Atlanta, Atlanta does Atlanta things that blow leads.
I got them beating the Raiders. I got them beating
That's-
Washington. I got them beating Philly once.
Okay.
Um,
What was the other ones? I know I gave you
I got
one
Chicago.
Cowboy.
yeah, I got them
That
beating
was my
Chicago.
That was my other one.
So I got them sweeping the Eagles. I got them beating
Right.
Chicago. I got
Right.
them beating Dallas one time, so splitting the series,
Right.
and I got them beating Atlanta.
Yeah.
But they could potentially get Denver, but that's tough. The Raiders, you
that's
could say the same thing about them. Those are possibles.
Those are possibles.
But
Okay, so yeah, I think the five is fair.
5 is safe.
Yeah. 5 is safe.
And this is right now. They might kill it in the draft, and I might change my mind because again, we're gonna go through. Once the draft is complete, we're gonna go through all 32 teams and their schedule, and we're each going to give our predictions, and we will have those predictions available for you guys to see before the season. And we're gonna see when Mr. Pick'ems returns. Who was right?
I won last.
Whoa, no, you won the last one. You didn't. You win the last pick. You didn't win the overall.
I won it. Just know that's all that everybody remembers is who won last. That was me.
Sure.
So yeah, like I said, after the draft time, we'll go through, give our grades of all the teams, where they're at from free agency, draft, our predictions for each team for the year, as well as a very, very early Super Bowl prediction at that time. I have a spoiler alert that I know who Vick is going to pick for the NFC representative, but
I think we all know.
That's neither here nor there.
I think we already know who he's picking him for his AFC representative.
Well, I think y'all are obviously gonna be picking the Rams, and I understand.
The Rams.
Right. Okay. Sure.
But anyways, let's continue.
So yeah, with that being said, we are done with Big Blue. Hopefully they can get the O-line together. Maybe that's probably some of my heavy criticism of Daniel Jones is he hasn't had maybe the protection for me to see what he can potentially do all the way. So we'll see if they get that put together. But
yeah, because you got to think about it too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you got to think about it too. Saquon Barkley's always had a tough time gaining yardage. He's always had to make things happen. So offensive line probably might be the biggest need. That's just depending on who's available at that point.
Or if it is that bigger need, you need to trade up and get offensive line.
Yep, that is true.
Because Cincy gonna go get one for Burrow, so you need to try to hit up Miami.
Yeah, Miami trying to trade that.
Get in that third spot so that you're ahead of Cincy. You can get a lineman, but we'll see.
We'll take Sterling.
Yeah, definitely get some good draft capital from the 3rd to what? It's the 12th pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're still able to get what we want.
I still want to stay in the top 10 though, but I mean,
actually, this will be 11th pick.
11
pick.
Just outside the top 2.
Cowboys with 10. So yeah.
All right, but yeah, with that being said, on to San Fran.